Ahoy mateys, it's Zadira and we are here in the alpha testing of Crosswind game, and boy, I have a lot to show you today. Let's get up here and get busy. I was just resting because boy, I've been working all morning just getting all this stuff together. Here's my house right here. We'll go and do a little tour here in a minute, but I wanted to just show a little bit about some of the basics of the building so you can kind of see. I wanted to see what I was going to be building with, and so maybe this will help some people. But here we have all kinds of pieces of the building materials that you're going to be able to use. To get into your building mode, you'll click B, and that'll bring up all these amazing items that you can choose to build with. So if you want to start out with, it says a basement, these are the foundations, and then you have the large floors, you have walls, and I'll show you all of these different things. So these are the foundations. Let's see here, I'll get out of if I can maybe get into one small little tiny thing that maybe it won't show so much. There we go. So this is like the I'll show you first up here. We have a medium stick and cane foundation. We have a cobblestone foundation, a small stone foundation, and a large stone foundation. But then if you go down here, you'll see we have a large wall, but then you also have these just walls. So I'll show you the difference in that. If I can get out of here, and it's kind of hard to show. Let's get back on our stick over here. There. So this is the large foundations. See how that's how the size they are. And then here is what you have to do is, this is a window, but if you want to build just the window, it's going to sit down on the ground. Let me show you. See, it just sits right here. So what I decided to do was I built these little small walls. Show you. This is the large walls. Here's, it says wall. And see, it's just like a small wall. So what we're going to do too, I'm going to show you how this is just so amazing. You click your left mouse and you scroll your wheel, and well, you just move your wheel over. And then you click it again and lift up on your mouse, and look at that. Isn't that amazing? Now I don't want that, so I could go with my you can undo your last action with backspace. Let's click the backspace button, and it undid it. Now if you're going to click one and click one, then you might want to delete. So you click your middle mouse button and it'll turn it red, and you just click your left mouse button and it destroys it, and you do get all of your resources back. So let's go through this. This is the you can see, let's get out of that deep when you destroy. So we have grass, and we have twigs, and we have lumber. Let's see, let's call it the correct thing. We have leaf walls, we have stick walls, we have bark walls, we have plank and timber, and we have stone. And this is the size of those if you want to build this size. Let's go over here and I'll show you those. So okay, let's get out of that. Yeah, so this is the grass, this is the stick, here's the bark, plank, and then I forget what that one's called. Yeah, and then the stone. And that's the size of the walls. And then you also have the different floors, the different foundations, and the different sizes. So you can see all of the different things that you can build with. Oh yay, the sun came out, thank goodness. Here's a little triangle wall, triangle floors you can build with, so you could actually make a little circular foundation, but not a circle. Let's eat something so we're not starving. Have a coconut, yum. And so this is just how the different things look. We have so many pieces. Here's a grass window. You have this grass window, and then the big giant grass window. We have these stick windows. See all the different sizes? And you can see how you can just do so much, because once you have your little walls, these are the small walls down, you put those down first, and then you can put windows on top of that. You can make so many different things with these because you have so many options. This is the paned glass with the paned glass in it and the single pane glass. And then, I don't think it's called that though. Let's make sure we're talking the right thing. Let's go down here and look at these windows. So we have narrow, oval, stick windows, medium, and wide. Then we also have the medium plank window instead of, it's not a glass. And then medium wooden shuttered. I'll show you those here in a minute because I have those in my house. And then those are the narrow plank windows. And then narrow window with a mesh and plank window. So you can see all the different things like that. Let's get out of that. So see, here's you can see the difference in those three. So, okay, we're losing our light. These are the stairways. This is the like stick. Can't see them very good. But then we get into the plank and the stone stairway. Here's a ramp. That's what the ramps look like. You get little tiny ones, like I'll show you. Let's see, B, and go into the stairs. Yeah, like this, like that. They're little, so that gives you more opportunity to be able to build just really cool things. And then there's that, and I'll show you. This is kind of interesting. Here's the reverse stone staircase corner, and then you also have a stone staircase corner 45-degree angle, and it's like outward. So if you look, see, you can make like a seating arrangement, can't you? So I used the corners here, and the middle one is just the straight one, and then a corner over here, and that's how that looks. These are the little twig. Oh my gosh, we have so many cool. Click the right button. Let's see. Look at this. So you have these large stick poles. Those look like that. And you have have to keep going up. You also have 64 degree, you have 26 degree, 45 degree, and then beams. So you can really decorate really nicely. And then you also have these small stick poles like this. And you have to keep scrolling up. Then those are at 64 degrees, 45, and 26. And then those small beams, you have a large pole. I have to keep scrolling up. That's a small log pole. And you can turn them if you don't want them looking exactly the same, but you would want those to stack on each other, wouldn't you? And then, so those are all the different links. Then we also have these, which are cool. I'd use these on my dock. I'll show you that here in a minute. These are the large timber poles at all the different degrees. And then you also have these. And then you have the small timber poles. I love that they give us so many options with this. And then the small timber beam. And then we have these different awnings that you can use. Aren't those awesome? Whoops, there we go. I love them. There's just so many things that you can do. And you can turn them. You don't have to do 90-degree angles. You can turn them at different angles. And then these, I use the small little poles to make this archway. If I'll show you here, I use this, the little pole and then the stick arch. I use the stick pole and the stick arch. So see how you can do so many things? Pretty neat. Okay, so let's take a tour of my house, what I've done. First you have to, when you place down your campfire, your bonfire, that will show you where your building area is in the game. And if you press B, see those white lines on the ground? That shows you how far out you can build, which is pretty far out. See, you can still see the white line out here. So it goes out pretty far. So once you put your, and I haven't asked, and I'd be afraid to do it to see if you lift up your bonfire, what happens. I'd be afraid everything would explode, but who knows. But so you can see I've used some of the beams crossways and up and down, and I put them in the water for realism. These little fencing that I created, I used, let's see here, up here in the walls, I believe. Yes, there's a long stick fence, and there's also a small plank wall beam, and I'm not sure if I used it correctly, but I really like how I used the small stick fence, and then I used the beams across like that. Dr. Galen, you're getting in my way. Or you want to be in the video? Okay. I used some decorations. We have some different types of barrels for decorations. I'll show you real quick what I did with these beams. I kind of, let's see here. If we do that and then click the middle mouse button, I can delete, but you can see easily where I put them. See, I stacked them on top of each other, and that gave a little V shape underneath instead of putting one here and then going all the way down and putting one there and all the way. I stacked them in between each other. Let's do it on this side so you're not blinded by the sun, having a sunset. So I thought that worked out really good for my fencing. I wonder if we'll get more fencing as the game goes on. We'll see. So anyway, let's get out of B again. This is our bell, and apparently you can fast travel to different bells in your world. I'm really excited about that. If I click on it, it shows there's where I am, and there's my bell. So I think if I go to another island, maybe you can put a bell down and you can easily go to another island. Isn't that? I'm thinking that's what I'm thinking. But this is my dock, and my ship, my boat is down there. So I could bring my boat over here and dock it here, or if we build a ship. And then there's buckets. There's pirate flags. See, here's our pirate flag. There's standing torches. There's also wall torches. There's benches. There's a wall torch. We have barrels. These are just decorations. And there's some more fencing that I figured out how to do. And then I enter my house by going up these stairs. And then here is a work area. And some of the workbenches you cannot use outdoors. You have to have a roof over them. But these are able to. This is a disassembly table. Oh, it's getting night. And so what you do is you see all of your items that you have, and if you want to disassemble them, you're able to do that. So like, I don't really want to do any disassembling because everything I don't know, that worn pistol, it's not work. I don't have any bullets for it, so let's go ahead and disassemble it just for the heck of it. So confirm, and see, I get 5 lumber and nails, and I'll take all with my F key. So I tried shooting with it, but it said I didn't have any bullets. So we'll have to build us a better gun, I think. And then I have a storage barrel here. And this is for the things that I might use at this area. Like if I press down my shift key, I can click on wood and stone and fiber, and probably is what I'm going to be using in this area. So I kind of try to stay organized and put things where I'm going to be using them. This is an upgrade table, and we can upgrade our rapier. We can upgrade that, and we can also upgrade our bag. We've upgraded it twice now, and so now if we upgrade it again, man, that's going to be nice, but we need iron. We have not found iron, and I'll bet we have to go to another island to find iron. This is your workbench that you get right off the bat, and you can make bandages and all the things that you can make here. You'll get that right pretty quickly. And then here I have a little porch. I put a little table. Oh goodness, I need to put where we can have, like, sit out on the deck and have a little drink of something. So if I go down here to decorations, under the building panel, I clicked B. You can see all of the decorations. Let's put us out a wooden mug. There we go. Hopefully we're going to get little candles that we can put on the table, or even a flower, a vase of flowers. Wouldn't that be fun? But you have all kinds of things. We have barrels, we have flags, we have bowls and buckets, we have chandeliers and wall torches. So I'll show you more of those as we go in the house. So this barrel I put for storage. I kind of put more rare items that I probably don't need a lot of, but I want to keep. And then we have another bench out here. We have a wall torch. These are the windows that I was showing, and you can open them. Isn't that neat? And Steffi and I had a discussion. We were talking about the curtains should be on the inside, but those aren't considered curtains. They're considered shutters. I tried turning them around, and they just don't work as well because they open to the inside. But look at the hinges on there and everything. Isn't that something? And then here's some of the single windows. And then over here we have a cutting table. I'm not sure if it's supposed to just be for decoration. If I open my bee, let me go look. I can't figure out crafting and utilities and then a cutting table. If I click on it, it says a cooking fire upgrade. I still don't know what that means. So I'm not sure. I guess you get more food plus on your food. Here's the cooking fire. But that's an upgrade. I don't know. And this is, let's see what this is. It's a stove and pot, but I don't understand because I can't click on it either. Crafting and utilities, if I go to the stove and pot. Okay, same. Oh, it's an alchemic table upgrade. Okay, I see. Yeah, there's my alchemic table. And that's an upgrade. So okay, well, I thought it went in the kitchen, so I put it in my kitchen. I thought it was just really cool. So you could put it by the alchemy table. But here's my cooking fire, and that is for cooking all these amazing foods. You can cook. And then I've got a little table here with bowls and mugs. We're ready to eat. It's a nice dinner before we go out on an adventure. I made a lot of room. I don't like a ceiling that is too low on my head, and I don't like space that I can't move around. So I made the house pretty big. It wasn't hard. It was very easy to get all the materials together. I'm hungry again. Let's eat us a coconut. I don't think for alpha testing it's really mattering if we're hungry, but I don't like that symbol down there. Here's the weaponsmith table. You can make bullets. And I guess the bullets must be for something else because I have these bullets, but it said it wouldn't work in my gun. Or maybe I just don't know how to make it work. I'm not sure. But you can make copper axes, pickaxes, shovels, and then you can make a rapier of 1,000 cuts and a trusty saber early on. I'm sure we'll get more weapons. Here's another storage that I have. I think that would be really cool at the foot of the bed. Here's our bed. You have to place your bed and then set it as a respawn point. Don't forget to do that if you destroy your little shack that you build. I have a little canopy. It's called a canopy over my bed. I thought that was really fun. These windows are open to let fresh air in. Here's a shelf. I tried putting stuff on the shelf. I could, but you really couldn't see it. We may get more items I can put in on there. I've tried to put a mug in there, and it just didn't work very good, so I just didn't do it. And then this is a little table. There's no storage or anything. It's talking about the bench. We can sit on the bench, but I can't. It doesn't say anything about the little side table, so I think they're just decorative. Then we have the armor and clothing workshop. So we can actually make like buccaneer hat, jacket, and that's an upgrade. It gives us 140 power, whereas right now we have 120 power. And then I'm thinking you can probably upgrade those maybe. But here's the alchemy table. And this is, first you have to make clay bottles, then you have to make a base, then you have weapon oil, and that's for making your blade a little bit more powerful. It adds 15% damage. And then there's the minor helmet. I made a lot of these. You have to have the base and the clay bottles. You make the clay bottles and then the base, and then you can make your healing potions. And I've got a bunch of those. I think we're going to go and do some adventuring. And then homeward journey. I thought this was interesting. A light drink with a sweet taste. Alas, it is not an easy potion to brew. Rare ingredients are needed. And it transports you to your last save point. So that's pretty cool. Now, I haven't saved in the game. I don't know if that's going to come later. I'm not sure. But we do have another pirate flag. We have a shelf. I put a bucket on this shelf. Over here, I put up a few shelves. See, I got my extra mugs on that shelf and then a bowl on that shelf. One shelf is just a little bit smaller than the other one, I think. And so I have a lot of torches. I have to have a lot of light, and there's our chandeliers, and I'm really worried that these chandeliers are going to catch my house on fire. I tell you, I wish they had a little bit better rope extending down so that they weren't so close to that thatch. Oh my gosh, does that not look dangerous? So anyway, so let's go out here and I'll show you. I have my kiln out here. I wanted to put the kiln on the front area where I have all my construction, or my work, where I do my workshops and stuff. But it says, if I got it too close to a house, it says you're not able to put it near a house. So I put it out here, and then I put my smelter out here too, furnace. And then I also have a box of storage out here. And I am interested in, right now, the dodos, they come up close. In fact, one dodo even came into my house because I had the door open. So they do come over here, but right now they're not attacking my house, as far as I know. And I haven't seen them attack anything. Now, that may change. I don't know. And we do have, let's see, what's it called? We do have these fortification. They're palisades. So maybe eventually, if we might have to put palisades around our houses. Right now, it's pretty safe. I did make a ladder because it's really difficult. For me, if I'm building a house, I can't figure out my roof unless I look down at it. Like these valleys, I can't figure them out from below. So if that might help you, if you're having a hard time figuring out how to build your roof with the pointy, having a pointy, what's that? I saw a shadow. Oh, that's the doctor. I tell you what, he keeps like, oh my gosh, he keeps coming, and it kind of worries me because I think he's another pirate. Because we do have NPCs that are pirates they're called drowners, and they are very mean. So anyway, this is my roof. If I click B, maybe I can kind of show you a little. It might show how to do the roof. Let's see here. If I look at the roof parts, yes, right here is the corners, and you can turn them. Maybe I might could do it better. I could show you better. So what you do is you build, so you start it right here in this corner. I can't show you really good. If I do, okay, there we go. I don't want to push my key because it'll delete it. But you can see where I put the valley there, and then you have to move the valley up. But these over here are the straight roofs, and they're real small, so you have to do double to get a big roof. But you can see how I did that. And then as you get up here, you just keep going up with your valley. And then these pieces are like this. They're already made up for you, and they're just pieces that you put on top if you end up with a straight piece across the top where you would think you need a roof or a ceiling. But you can use these little pointy pieces, and it just makes it look so nice. So that's pretty much the roof basics. I mean, there's a lot to it. You saw. Okay, let's get out of that. I tell you, there we go. And let's see. See, you can see here's the roof gable. That's for the end. Now, I didn't find a straw gable. I ended up using, there's a long leaf roof ridge and just a leaf, and these are all different degrees. This one's 26 degrees, it's a long one, and 45 degree. Unbelievable. I am so interested to see what people are going to do. I'm not kidding. I bet people are going to build amazing bases. But that pretty much, I think, is going to be our little house for now. I do appreciate each and every one of you for coming along on this little adventure. It has been a blast so far. We've only been playing a day. This is our second day, I guess, is what I should say. I think we're going to end this little video right here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I do appreciate each and every one of you very, very much. Don't forget to batten down those hatches, and we'll see you later. Bye.